Welcome to another class. Today it's sunny, so I hope this video will work, but the sun might screw up my video, but let's hope it doesn't screw up anything. Alright, so today we're going to talk about how to solve low self-esteem. Actually, in fact, this is how you solve everything. But the thing is, a lot of people have these, there is low self-esteem, people have, they lack confidence, they lack everything. I'm on the other side right now, so it is very difficult for me to just go back to everything. So you got to be a little bit patient with me. I'm going to give you basically 3 different scenarios here. I'm going to explain all of this stuff. All right, so let's first look at, so this is one of my notes here. 1 plus 1 equals 2, always. And the thing is, all of these problems you have, they all have the same solution. And I've said this in other, lectures, but I just wanted to, say that again here. I'm going to repeat myself because, the solution to everything is the same. Life is not that complicated, and especially men are not that complicated, are not complicated at all. So we're not complicated at all. So you just stop confusing who you are, stop confusing yourself, stop being confused, and just become a man instead, all right? Don't be effeminate. Everything has become this effeminate climate, all right? We gotta change this. This is the culture I want to change. We can change stuff. It is possible to change because we change every single day in our own body. We change all the time. The problem is that you keep on, going round and round and round. That's the main issue. You keep on eating the garbage and never exercising and so forth. So you gotta change all this stuff. So let's start. All right. So perhaps now this doesn't matter. It can be a man or a woman. Doesn't matter. This is all universal, and it doesn't actually just solve low self-esteem. But let's go with the theme today. All right. I'll remake this. I'll basically remake my philosophy over and over again. And I did realize some new stuff yesterday, or a new way of expressing it. All right. It is basically a curiosity navigation. It is basically curiosity navigation. All right. What am I capable of? All right. That is the question. And then the question beneath this is basically, what is my full potential? And then beneath that, that is what is my full potential. And then the question beneath that is, who am I? And then the other question is, what is the meaning of my life? Or what is the meaning of life? And so forth. And so as you understand by now, if you've watched my stuff, you understand that the meaning of life has been with me all the time. That is the main question and issue I've been working with my whole life. All right. So, and that's my specialty basically. I mean, I know everything about the meaning of life. I know all the angles. All right. I've been in the depths, I've been in the heights, and I'm trying to reach even higher heights all the time, every single day. All right. I'm discovering new awareness things with my mind and body. All right. There are some stuff that's happening. For example, I'm starting to, and without being unhealthy. That is the important thing. That is my philosophy. We go from the core outwards instead of questioning our core, questioning our health. That is the number one thing we shouldn't question. We should question stuff, but not our health. All right. Your health, your survival is the number one thing. Without your existence, meaning cannot exist. You have to exist for meaning to exist. All right. And I will perhaps make some videos about a new series called something like everything wrong about this, or my opinion on this, because other thinkers, because I believe a lot of them I gotta cut them down, because people think this is the paradigm, but this is the paradigm. All right, this is the paradigm. I'm not saying this because I'm biased and it's my philosophy. I've gone through every single philosophy. All right, I've gone through Stoicism. I've gone through rationalism, atheism, modern atheism, ancient atheism. I've gone through everything. Nietzscheism, Camus, existentialism, pre-Socratic, Socrates, the Socratic method, being critical. All of this stuff is just, all right, nonsense. All right, all of this stuff is just put it out there. Everything is wrong. Steve Jobs. There are a couple of correct things. My uncle and Steve Jobs. All right, Steve Jobs is correct. Everyone has an opinion on what life is, and they're all wrong. But the thing is, I can't be wrong, because if health is wrong, then what? There is no. If this is wrong, then there is no reason to continue living. All right, you might as well end everything. All right, so those are the two options in life. Those are the questions Albert Camus asked. Is suicide the ultimate question? Is it, should I live, basically? And the question is, I'm saying yes, you should. And Camus said yes as well, but he had a different. I am inspired. So he had this, the myth of Sisyphus. Sisyphus keeps on pushing up the stone up in the mountain, and then it falls, and all the time, all the time like that. And life is struggle and all that stuff from Buddhism, and And by the way, I've gone through all the religions as well, all mystics, non-mystics, literalists, everything. All right. So there is no perspective I haven't thought of. All right. So I am the collector, the maven. I've collected all of this information to distill everything and just cut out everything else. All right. And I've done this for myself first, and then I'm doing it now for you. All right. I'm doing it now for you. This is my gift to humanity. This is my purpose. All right. So I just wanted to explain all of that stuff. It's sunny. I want to go outside. I feel energized. All right. So, and by the way, I'm fasted. I'm in a fasted state. All right. We need self-reliance. We need all of this stuff. I will explain here. So, low self-esteem. How do we solve low self-esteem? We solve everything by using my philosophy, my principles. All right. I'm giving you the mindset. You are the one who has to change the behaviors, but this is the mentality. Well, the whole thing is mentality, but this is mentality, this is behaviors, this is new self, this is old self. All right. This is you right now. You have low self-esteem. You don't have confidence. You're not manly. All right. You're not manly. And if you're a woman, you don't have a sharp man, well-developed man. And also, not just, you shouldn't just rely on your man, of course. I do like women who are sharp. I like, Spartan women were also warrior-like, all right? You should be like a Spartan woman. I want to have a Spartan woman. I want to have a woman that can do squats. I don't want to have a woman that can't do squats, all right? And the woman want to have a man that can do push-ups and also squats. Well, the woman should also be able to do push-ups, all right? Push-ups, squats, pull-ups. You gotta, if you are not capable of doing push-ups, you're not a man, you're not a human, all right? You're not a human. I'm gonna redefine what humanity means. And it means something different. It means having muscles. It means having confidence. You have confidence by building muscles, by building results, all right? You have confidence by building results. I don't care who you are. You build confidence by creating, self-creating results, all right? And that is owning yourself, all right? Owning yourself. Own thyself. Nietzsche has great quotes on this. Look him up. But don't revel on his stuff too much either. He can be negative, all right? You see, I don't care. It's my heroes, I love him, but he's not perfect. No one is perfect, all right? But we are here to perfect the human condition. We can create better people, all right? We can create better people. I'm basically sculpting you. I'm basically sculpting people. Instead of creating my art through a medium, well, I am through a medium here, but I'm sculpting you directly, basically. It is indirectly, but it is directly if you apply my stuff, all right? I know I'm speaking very weirdly. I am weird, I'm strange, but my name is unexpected, all right? My name is unexpected. You gotta understand that, all right? My name is perfect for me. Everything is perfect for me. Everything is perfect for me. I'm always, and you will realize, you see that I'm speaking something new here, like building results, you know. I always invent new stuff. Curiosity navigation. It's all about curiosity navigation. This is your core. This is you. All right, let's start this. All right. Okay, so there are 3 scenarios. You're either thin, fat, or skinny fat. All right. If you're fat, I advise you to first get to skinny fat and thin, and fast, and water fast. All right. Because you will hurt your knees, you will hurt everything if you train and all that stuff. You can just do this quickly. You can do this very quickly. It depends, obviously, if you're super fat. I mean, there was one guy that did like 365 days of water fasting. I think he broke the record, and he didn't eat anything except his own fat on his own body. All right, that is fasting. 365 days, and you're complaining about like 10 days. So realize this. But this is if you're fat. I mean, if you're thin, you can still have terrible confidence. If you're skinny fat or dad, you know, people say dad body or dad bod, whatever. It's the same thing. Skinny fat, all right? You don't have muscle showing. Now, some people are actually like this and still have low self-esteem. But I will get to this, all right? Because these people aren't developed in everything else. I mean, you can't just have, you can still inflame your body when you're you can still hurt yourself. You're still in a gym comparing yourself to all these people, all of that stuff, all right? That is not how you do it. That's why this person can still have low self-esteem. But that is because he's comparing himself to others, all right? He never loves himself, all right? He never loves himself. You see? Joy in the process. I should put like love yourself as well. Yourself plus work, actually. So that's another principle that we have to add, actually. You have to love yourself. You have to love yourself. Otherwise, you can't love others. You can't help others. All this is important. Love is super important. We don't discard love. Love is very important. Joy is love. So this is also the love principle. We could connect these, but I want to separate them because joy in the process explains, you know, the process itself, the behaviors. Love yourself is more, you know, within, feeling, emotion, all that stuff. So it is a bit different. So it doesn't matter which you are. You might be skinny fat, fat, whatever it is, you gotta change the way you eat, all right? And even if you're this guy, you have low self-esteem, you have to still return here. This is your old self, you're here, and perhaps it's like 3 scenarios, you know? Like this guy here, he might, you know, he might still have 4th scenario. He might still have low self-esteem, but this guy, he doesn't have to work as much because, you know, it's just basically mindset and, well, it's also physical behaviors. You gotta change physical behaviors and have a mindset, all right? You gotta change your mentality and your physical behaviors. Physical behaviors, all right? Behaviors are physical. And your mindset, because, you know, your brain always works with your core, heart, core, heart, brain, mind. All right? So you see, you are both physical and your mind all the time. You're both physical. This is physical. All right, you're both physical and your mind. You see, all the time. When you're walking, you're physical and your mind. Every time you walk, you're always mind and physical. You're always a mentality, a worldview. You all have all these worldviews. Basically, all of them are wrong. You got to change them. All right. So both are important. But you physically change yourself. You gotta. So the higher desire comes here. It is the first thing that the first principle you have to work with is the higher desire. The principle of change works behind all of this. Owning yourself it works underneath that, after that. And then higher desire is here. Higher desire, you got to have this higher desire. You have this first, the vision. You want to have a great body, a beach body. You want to have a beach body because that will kill your low self-esteem. You will have confidence instead. We're changing low self-esteem. We're moving low self-esteem towards, technically it should be here, but I don't have a room here, to confidence, all right? C here is confidence. You're moving low self-esteem towards confidence, okay? We can do it here. Low self-esteem, confidence. You gotta have confidence. You have confidence when you can create stuff, all right? You have confidence when you can, whenever you want to, you can create money. Whenever you want to, you can create muscles. Whenever you want to, you can create sex. Whenever you want to, you can create anything, a family. You can create whatever you want to. You are a creator. You gotta be a creator. You gotta become a creator. You gotta become a creator. All right? You gotta become a creator. You are a creator. We came here to be creators. We didn't come here. We evolved. We evolved on this earth. Mother and father created me. All right? And then nature, if we go back billions of years, nature created itself, basically. I mean, but whatever. That doesn't actually, it matters in the behind the scenes here. It matters behind the scenes here. But you don't have to worry about that. That is my worry. All right? I am the philosopher. You're not the philosopher. All right? But I'm the philosopher here telling you that there is so much junk and I've cut it all out. This is all you need. All right? This is all you need. You can think like this. You can, if you don't like the terminology here, change it. All right? Whatever your voice says in your brain, change it. But this is what my voice in my brain told me. All right? Higher desire. This is my higher desire. That is how I developed it. I want to have a bigger body through calisthenics. I want to have a beach body. I want to have a beach body 24/7, 365, always, always, always. And then I discovered new things on the journey. And I've given you a lot of that stuff, but I will give you more, of course. But so you will discover new experiences, new things. But not just that. You want to. Well, the theme is removing low self-esteem. But you do this, gradually, like everything else. All right. So you're thin, you got to build muscles. You're fat, you got to remove fat and build muscles. And you're skinny fat, you got to remove some fat and build muscles. Not as long, perhaps. You fast a little bit and then you continue, or depends. But you got to implement a lot of stuff. You got to remove a lot of stuff also. You got to change everything. You got to implement new behaviors to become this. This guy has other behaviors. This new self, your higher desire, has different behaviors. All right, you can look at it like this. A millionaire has the behaviors of a millionaire. A poor person has the behaviors of a poor person. A skinny person has the behaviors of a skinny person. A fat person has the behaviors of a fat person. All right, I can go on and on and on like this. A philosopher has the behaviors of a philosopher. A consultant has the behaviors of a consultant. A friend has the behaviors of a friend. All right? Everything is like this. A mathematician has the behaviors of a mathematician. A professor has the behaviors of a professor. A physicist has the behaviors of a physicist. All right? All of it is that way, all right? A personal coach, a training coach, he has the behaviors of a training coach. All right? He has results. I'm speaking of training and exercise because you can't make excuses here. You cannot make excuses because there is only one way to build muscles, and that is pushing yourself and training and eating properly. That is it. And also not having stress, of course, and also recovering and sleeping better. So meditation and sleep, exercise, diet, all of the stuff I'm speaking of in my first foundation, that is here, all right? That is why I'm speaking of it, because of this. That is why I'm talking about this stuff. You will realize this. The more you watch my stuff, you will realize this. So it's just a matter of time. So you will all realize this. This is the only way. Everything else is just garbage, because I still kept passion here. I kept passion. I kept our humanity. I kept everything. I kept how we behave as humans, the psychology. I'm not, trying to make you a machine here. This is not a machine, not even close, not even close. So this is just your will to greatness. Your will to greatness comes here. This is just a will here. You gotta have the will to greatness. That's it, a will to greatness, all right? That is it. So you change the way you eat here, even if you have the fourth here, he has a great body, he has trained, but he still eats garbage. He still inflames his body. He still yo-yos back and forth. He has a bulking season and a summer season. That is nonsense. That is old paradigm nonsense. There are so many myths in training as well. Forget about that stuff, all right? And also, stuff like ab exercises and all that's junk. You don't need anything. You need pull-ups, squats, push-ups. That's everything you need. All right? That's all you need. That's all you need. All right. You don't need anything else. You have your own body. You're self-resilient. You own yourself. That is everything you need all the time, every day. You only need your temple. All right? So I had this thought of temple earlier today as well. Let's see if I have some, All right, so, well, let's put it here. Like your mother and father, let's call this, a temple here. All right, let's put it like this, this is a temple here. It's like, like ancient Greece here. Something like that. All right, your mother and father built all the material here. All right, the whole temple here, all the materials here, they built it. All right, but now you're an adult. All right, you gotta self-parent yourself because your parent weren't great at building this building. It is a bit, it's not, properly built here. There are some problems here and there. You gotta fix all this stuff. It looks like this basically. That's why you have low everything, not just low self-esteem. You have low life. You have nothing, all right? You have nothing because you are nothing, because you haven't developed yourself. You got to develop your character. As Heraclitus says, character is destiny. If you change your character, you change your destiny, all right? Change character and change destiny. Change is always, like Heraclitus also says, change is always happening all the time. But the few are great. He says that as well. The few are great. Be the few. Go against the mainstream. Go against everything. Go against the contrarians as well. That's how you find yourself. That is the third path, or the third way, or the third stage. You are first stage, be mainstream. Second stage, be contrarian. Third stage, go against the contrarians as well and be yourself. All right. Third stage, be yourself. And you won't care about opinions, anything, because you shift your mentality to yourself. All right. You shift your mentality to your core. Technically, core is basically your soul, your whole self, your whole, or your spirit, your whole body, everything. All right. Your core is your whole thing. And then soul is the echoes of your personality, all these different voices, and not just voices, but your expressions and stuff. And then you have, wills and desires and demons and everything, even the bad stuff. You can't deny the bad stuff, but I will teach you how to use the bad stuff, all right? I'll do that in a different lecture, but it is basically the same, because you will be on the path of instinct. You will be on the path of fixing your prefrontal cortex and your instinct relationship, and prefrontal cortex and instinct relationship, basically, deeper, or whatever we want to, deeper in the brain, your instinct, and also your gut, because instinct goes, gut as well. So yeah. I don't care who you are, thin, fat, skinny, even if you're in good shape, you still can have low self-esteem. You change this by changing your diet. I don't care if you think you're a nutritionist and a coach and a personal coach. I don't give a damn. I don't care, because you still don't know anything. You don't fast, you don't do OMAD, you don't feast, or OFAD as I call it. You gotta change the way you eat. You gotta eat ancestrally. You gotta skip stuff. Now, you can do this gradually, of course. It depends on your personality, You can do it gradually. Actually, I don't care. Do it gradually, do it quickly. This is up to you. You have to have the will to change, all right? You have to have the will to create, to greatness, and of course, creation, but to create yourself. You're basically redesigning yourself, creating a new self for yourself. This is your higher desire, your vision. This higher desire, vision, will also change based on the results you get in real life. So reality always triumphs. Always, always, always. We work in reality. We don't deny anything. We don't deny our humanity. We don't deny reality. What works, works. Push-ups work. Certain squats work better. Certain push-ups work better for this and that, so forth. You will learn a skill while you train, You will learn a new skill. You will be able to teach others this skill. So that is how you acquire skills, all right? So you learn a lot of new stuff, especially if you're young, and I was almost going to say healthy, but you're most likely not healthy, all right? You're not healthy because you don't work on yourself. You don't work on improving your character, developing your character, all right? So yeah, so the temple, basically, you gotta fix all this stuff. So you fix it, and you continue, you have an interest in this temple, instead of looking at this other temple here, your neighbor. It doesn't have to be your neighbor. I mean, today it's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's everything. So you look at this other temple here, like a large temple here, But the thing is, this temple focused on itself. That's how it got large, all right? It didn't focus like you do. You focus on this temple instead of focusing on yourself, and then you degrade, you degenerate, you become this old self, you become, all these, you keep on moving around and around in life. You keep on eating garbage and so forth, because you're this temple. You're only, comparing yourself to this guy, and you move these arrows back into you, and you just compare yourself. Instead of having this as a higher desire or vision, or, but yourself, it has to be basically the image, so, your genetics and all that stuff, So that's why I say higher desire and vision changes when it comes to body and exercise, because you don't yet understand how your muscles will look like, Because until you have results, you don't understand quite how what your body looks like, you know. So you can't look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're not Arnold Schwarzenegger, all right? You are you. So you can't look like him, but you will look great because everyone can look great. Every single human being, all right? I don't care if you're 60. The Spartans were soldiers up until they were 60 years old, all right? And that means they were soldiers. So that means they had great bodies. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are, all right? So that's why I speak of here 3 scenarios or 4, you know. It doesn't matter who you are, you got to work on it. And perhaps you even have, you know, bad social. So you gotta, if you have a great body, perhaps you even have great, you know, nutrition and all that stuff. And even if you have low self-esteem, then your socialization, your relations in life is wrong. Something is wrong. You gotta change something here. You can be more complex here. But for most people, you're either thin, fat, skinny fat. And you gotta remove this old self, all right? So I hope you understand with the temple thing there, you got to build your own temple, focus on yourself, your temple. You focus only on your temple, how to improve it. And that is your work in life. That is life, all right? That is the meaning of life. That is the meaning of life. And that's how you become this great temple. You don't become the great temple by looking at it. You become, the same way you don't become Arnold Schwarzenegger by looking at Arnold Schwarzenegger. You don't become Arnold at all. You become yourself, your higher desire, your vision, and you improve this vision once you see results. You don't become this temple, actually. You never become this temple, you become your own great temple. That is what it is. And this goes for everything, all right? Relations, business, work, everything. All right, everything. That's why I'm speaking of universal principles. You see, it is all universal principles. So, in this process, this is your lower desire. You love eating chips and snacks and all the garbage. You got to remove that. You got to sacrifice that. All right, this is the sacrifice process. Either slowly, you know, gradually. Let's say bread. You remove bread. You start eating oatmeal with some honey. That's how I started with that. And then I changed it to fruits. And then I dropped oatmeal and fruits, not fruits, but oatmeal with fruits altogether, all right? You don't have to drop fruits totally, unless you want to. You either go keto, paleo, carnivore, ancestral. You either go keto, ketogenic diet, but lower with fat, more high protein keto diet. You go strict paleo diet, or you go carnivore. Those are the 3, basically. I call it ancestral diet because you can eat some nuts, some berries. Berries are the best. You can eat some fruit as well, but you can have also a meat and fruit diet. That has worked very well for me as well. So it depends on the person, of course, but it will be one of these. I mean, it will be a form of paleo, keto-esque, strict, ancestral. It will be something like that, all right? It will be something like that, but you just have to find your own, you know. And you can have occasionally some, you know, rice and, you know, but it's not something you always eat. The same way Spartans, they rarely ate bread and so forth. They knew that bread wasn't, you know, good. So they understood this. And also alcohol and all that stuff. Because those are lower desires. That's the lower old life, old self. You were tired, you had low self-esteem, depressed, whatever it is. I'm talking about low self-esteem here, but it doesn't matter, you know. You have low self-esteem because you don't have a great body. This is the reason. I mean, I don't care how big of a business you have. You still feel a little bit ashamed of yourself when you're at the beach and you just this garbage on you, you know, this garbage body, this garbage temple. What does the business doesn't matter at all if your temple is just garbage, all right? If your temple has all this nonsense on it, instead of getting to the core and removing all the nonsense, you know, all these gold, or, you know, not just gold, but, you know, all these nonsense things, instead of having a clean temple, nothing, you know, only stuff you need, you know, instead of having that. That is the best, because you get to the core. You get to the core of who you are. That's why minimalism is great. But you shouldn't be minimalistic and remove your personality. You know, you should keep your personality. You have to keep your personality. We're not here to remove and delete your personality. You keep your humanity. Always keep humanity. We don't deny our humanity. We're not stoicists here, all right? Stoicism is garbage, all right? It's for fascists. This is for creators. This is for artistic. This is for intellectuals. This is for creative people. This is for those who want to reach their full potential. Those who want to, you know, reach, you know, the greatness in life, a greatness in life. All right? Who am I? What am I capable of? This guy is capable of, you know, everything. He can overcome because he overcame everything. He overcame all the important stuff here. Being thin or fatty or skinny fat. You know, he didn't always, you're not born like this. You know, you're not born a warrior. You're created a warrior. That's why at 7 years old, the Spartans forced the boys to become, you know, soldiers. At 7 years old, they created them. They created the soldiers. They created their society and culture. You create society and culture. It doesn't just happen. You're not just born into, I mean, technically you're born into society, but the society wasn't just born out of nothing. It was created, all right? And we create this, and I'm creating this culture, all right? I'm creating you. I'm creating you, basically. So I'm basically like a Spartan here, trying to create you, but not Spartan, but you understand my analogy there, I hope. So it's very important that you sacrifice a mentality and lower desires. You have to sacrifice this old self. You can't be attached with this old self, and that is where I like Buddhism, detachment, but they are still always attached. It's pretty funny how they're always attached to being a Buddhist. So, and same here. I mean, you shouldn't be. We're in constant new self. All right, it's constantly moving like this. All right, all the time, all the time. You always take these steps, change yourself, change your characteristics. Characteristics. You see, the key is in language. Characteristic. He has the traits of a great man, and this guy has the traits of a lower man. He's not a great man by definition. All right, by definition. We do have differences. It's not all are equal. Everything is equal. Everything is fine. No, everything is not fine. I usually say everything is fine and great, but it is only fine and great when we work on ourselves, when we develop ourselves. All right, then everything is fine. And so you want to have this great beach body 24/7, 365. You want to have great self-esteem. You can walk on the beach. People will look at you, and people will want to have what you have. You will radiate this. This will create confidence. All right, that is why this is important. So you leave that garbage foods. You start training, and you leave the old paradigm. So matrix, all right? So you are in a matrix, all right? You're all in a matrix. You're all in a matrix. When I see all these people, I see all of you, and it doesn't matter if it's on YouTube, all the comments, and I never watch the YouTube videos, only, you know, occasionally, very rarely. And I'm increasingly, you know, cutting everything, all right? Because I only need myself. I only need myself and my work, all right? Because that is what took me out of everything. I took myself out of everything, and I'm helping you taking yourself out of everything, all right? So you are in a matrix. You're not supposed to please everyone. You're not supposed to help everyone. You're not supposed to, greatness takes time. You're not supposed to become a machine, all right? You're supposed to retain your humanity. You're supposed to have joy in the process, love each and every process, because why else live, all right? Because if we want to have non-meaning, that's the great path of non-meaning, you know, non-joy in the process and not loving yourself. Just keep on hating yourself. Keep on, you know, these lower desires, keep on eating hamburgers and pizzas and all this nonsense that your body doesn't want. You're basically torturing your core. You're basically torturing your core all the time, basically torturing yourself. Well, you are your core, so you are torturing yourself. That is the old paradigm, all right? That's why I said paradigm here. You keep on, even if you don't notice it, if you're not aware of it, you keep on torturing your core. Who am I? Why am I this? Why am I that? Why am I this? Why am I that? That's because you have low self-esteem, because you haven't developed yourself. You haven't worked on yourself. All right? It's all the same. It's all the same. You gotta eat right, train right, you gotta meditate right, sleep right. That is the first foundation. And you take these steps. You can take them slowly, fast, whatever you want to. There are ways. You can watch my other videos. I explained a lot there as well. I will make perhaps newer videos like that. So you have this, you are on the beach, you have this low self-esteem, perhaps even your partner, you know, because you are the same. Your partner and you reflect each other. You can't have, you know, one is great, has a great body, great diet and so forth. The other one is, you know, fat and nothing. And perhaps you're a woman and you don't have, you know, big breasts, but you're thin and so forth. Doesn't matter. You eat right, you eat more, and you train a lot more, all right? And then you focus on your back, all right? You focus on your back, your behind. You do squats, and that's how you get there, all right? You might be a guy, you will have your strength, you know? You will have your strength. You will have, you know, perhaps your calves are great, or you know, you have 8-pack, you know? Some people have 8-pack actually. But that is Arnold Schwarzenegger, he has a 4-pack. He can't have a 6-pack. That is genetics. So you can't change everything who you are, you know? But you can reach, you can't change your body, but you can change, well, you can't change your body, but you can change, obviously you can change your body, but you can't change your full genetic potential. That is your full genetic potential, all right? But you gotta find the effective ways of everything, and you gotta have joy in the process. That is what's happening here, all right? So change works behind everything. You're changing yourself. You own yourself because you're self-reliant. You only need your body that is under that. Then you have joy in the process. You love each and every process you're doing. That is more direct, you know? So this is more in the background. Joy in the process and higher desire and vision is more direct, because you're using this higher, well, it is actually before, you know, you have your imagined self, and you know, you work towards that, your goal. That is your goal. That is your higher desire, your desired goal. And so you sacrifice, you slowly build 1 month, 2 months. You've had paleo now, you've moved towards paleo, you've tried keto perhaps, you know, you're trying to find the diet you like, and you remove and you try new things, and you gotta love that process of finding new things, you know. You stop eating avocados and you start eating more protein, or, you know, stuff like that. More meat or something, or more eggs, and now you've tried, you know, raw eggs. You can try all sort of stuff. And you gotta love that process. I love that process. And I found my diet, so I don't have much, I can try some stuff, but there's not much else I can try. But I found my diet. I love the way I eat. Now I just have a certain pattern that I love as well, my habits and so forth. So, that's the second foundation. But we can work slowly here. We don't have to, it might be too much, too much to think of. So yeah, you have joined the process and everything, and you work toward that. And when you do this, you work you go from, sick of yourself, to loving yourself. That is that principle, loving yourself. You got to love yourself. Loving yourself. Loving yourself, all right? This guy, he loves himself. He loves the way he trains, he eats, even how he sleeps, even how he meditates, even how he has sex. He loves the way he makes money. He loves everything. And then he loves his friends because he loves himself. He has the friends he wants. He's creating his own friends, his own social circle. He's creating the people he wants to have in his life that elevates him. He elevated himself, now he wants other people to elevate him further, because that's the next step. And then you keep on elevating each other, elevating, and eventually you'll be just the greatest, in the universe. So yeah, that is how this works. But it is super important that you understand that it is physical behaviors towards these steps, towards these characteristics, and sacrificing these, physical foods, behaviors. This is the reason why you have low self-esteem and, low energy and all that stuff. All right, all of that stuff. You will be able to increasingly go to the beach and feel like, oh yeah, I just feel great, and then you will become a role model. This is a role model here. This is not a role model. He doesn't radiate anything. No one cares about this, because this is the everyday person. This is the mainstream. This is the nothing person. This is the personality person. This is the character development. This is the guy who has developed his character. This guy has something. He has overcome his struggles. That is the hero, all right? We can look at art as well. You see, this is the hero's journey. This is the hero's journey. This is, like Joseph Campbell talked about in his books and work, I don't know if you people know about that stuff, but it doesn't matter, but I'm telling you now. He was pretty, I always liked that guy, that man. You see, this is unmanly, this is manly. Or even if it's a woman, doesn't matter. This is womanly, this is unwomanly, skinny, we want all the characteristics that we are, all right? The human nature. We want the human nature. We want the best human nature. Not just, we are greedy, but that is good. This is the way you channel greed. This is the way you channel greed. I want to have bigger muscles. Great. Work on that. But not just for the sake of muscles. You never sacrifice your health, all right? You want to have great muscles, but perhaps you want to have, you want to have joy and, fun. So you train pull-ups in a different way, trying to build more, or push-ups, and more shoulder muscles or something like that. So introduce some, handstand push-ups, but the thing is, but you still retain your health all the time. You still do calisthenics. You lower the risk of injury, but not only that. You eat ancestrally, so you don't inflame your body within itself. You don't cause inflammation all the time by eating, 3 meals a day, 6 meals a day, snacking. You don't do that. That's why you can still be here and be, moody and, have low self-esteem and so forth, because you're still a nice temple, but you're still constantly comparing yourself to others, and you have a terrible, social circle, most likely. People, you gotta, you gotta just focus on your core, who you are, and not just oh yeah, I accept I am thin, but that is fatalism. Don't be fatalistic. Don't be a defeatist. Don't think that being skinny, it is impossible to reach this. It is not impossible to reach your higher desire. All right, it is not, because you know that there are like billion different examples. You gotta just stay consistent. All right, you gotta have within this. You gotta have consistency. You gotta keep on going, and you're gonna make it happen. All right, you're gonna make this happen some way or another. You're gonna find your way, but the only way you can find it is by starting and taking action and taking these steps. You gotta take these steps, all right, before you can take these steps. And before you can take this step, this third step, you gotta take the second step, and so forth. That's how you move forward, all right? You gotta take all the steps. You gotta take the first step, not just accepting who you are, because that is wrong. We shouldn't have that philosophy of fatalism, because we can change. We're changing all the time. It's just that instead of going in circles, you change with a direction, with a purpose. This is with a direction, with a purpose. When you have steps, you have a direction and purpose, all right? So ultimately, you want to have greater health, because low self-esteem means that. It means that your health is suffering here. Low self-esteem means your health is suffering. Depression means your health is suffering. Your mood swings means your health is suffering. Something is wrong and you gotta change. And so in the beginning, this being sick of myself worked very well, actually. Better than, fatalism and accepting who you are and nonsense like that. I was just so sick of myself, I just knew I had to change something. And I only focused on health. I only said to myself, I only care about myself, and I only care for 1 year or more. I'm only gonna focus on myself and bettering myself. Nothing else, no one else, nothing else matters. And everything got better, and that's how it started, all right? You gotta start the same way. You are sick of yourself the way you are right now. You have low self-esteem. You're sick of all these things, and you're fixing everything. If you're young, this will mean, parenting yourself in other ways as well, removing stuff at home, cleaning your room, cleaning, everything, cleaning up after yourself like a man. It is manly to be clean and shaven, whatever you can have, but facial hair if you want to, but you can't just look like a hobo, all right? You gotta look ready for war, all right? The same way Leonidas and all those great warriors, not just Spartans, but Spartans are the epitome of, working on yourself and well-developed bodies and, everything. Now, obviously, that can be a little bit extreme, but because they were on the brink of death all the time. But in some sense, that is not extreme, that is the heights, that's very spiritual, all right? They were super spiritual, I'm sure, because within that battle, you feel this. That's why us men can feel this from movies and so forth as well. We still have it within us. It's not like evolution forgot that, you can never forget your instinct. You're born with an instinct. That's why we're never machines. We will never be machines. I'm the anti-machine here, all right? I will be the anti-machine. I'm going to be John Connor against Skynet and everything. I'm going to be that. It looks like that. It feels like that right now, actually. It feels like I'm returning humanity to humanity. In some sense, you are in the matrix and I'm pulling you out and I'm trying to make you realize that there is joy in this. There is so much joy in this, all right? Because you see yourself as the character of your own life, all right? That is the powerful mentality here, all right? Like in World of Warcraft or whatever game you're playing, you're fixing this ship in Eve Online, or all of this. But instead of that, you fix yourself, your life instead. You don't fix your orc, your warrior orc. You fix yourself, all right? You are the warrior orc. You are the warrior. You're the Spartan. You fix, your bracelets, you fix all of this stuff in life instead, all right? That is how you do it. And life, because life is the only experience we have. Life is all we have, all right? Experience, existence, that is it. Your experience in life is the most important thing in life. That's why health is the most important thing. It's just that health is, the next step, the practical step. But the theoretical step is you only have your existence. You only have your subjectivity. You keep on worrying about everything, hurting your core, hurting yourself, your existence, instead of, you see, external, internal, instead of internal, external. Go from internal to external and fix yourself that way, all right? That is how my philosophy is. Core, outwards, not inwards to the core. Just keep on, keep on torturing and asking yourself these lower questions. And so you stop these questions with low self-esteem, all these questions in your head, you stop with that and just take action and changing your behaviors. That is it. That is it. There is nothing else to this. All right? There is nothing else to this. And you will discover stuff on the journey. Just start small. Start small. I don't care. Let's say you're totally messed up. All right? You're totally messed up. I was totally messed up. I didn't just have low self-esteem. I was deeper than that. I was way deeper than that. Way. And I changed myself. I am the evidence of that. So otherwise I wouldn't be here, You can't be super depressed and, do this stuff. I did my philosophy all the time, but in my notes, I have 1 billion notes in my phone. I have so many notes in my phone. I could probably make, many books based on that. But I won't, at least not yet. I will create something, perhaps I will show, the whole process that went through, but all the thoughts and stuff like that. But all those old thoughts, that feels old to me now. But I like, saving some of the old stuff just to remind myself what that was, But I'm not nostalgic. Actually, I could just burn and delete all my old. I could delete everything, basically. I could delete everything. I'm not attached to anything except my own experience and myself and my philosophy, my work, all right? My work and myself, that's the only thing I'm attached to. Myself, my character, developing my character, improvement. It's all about the improvement, but not just the improvement, the higher desire, the joy in this. And so I hope I explained here how my principles work within this, all the time, That was the point here. I hope you understood that, that all of those principles work here. They all work here. So the process is just, you got to take the steps. You got to become the creator. You got to, create yourself. You got to create yourself. No one else is going to create yourself. You have to do it yourself. No one else is going to care. No one else cares about your health. No one except you. Except, of course, I care about your health. Otherwise, I wouldn't do this. But there are very few people who will care about your health. I'm the only one who cares about health. I see, it is like the Matrix, all right? I am like red pilling myself all the time. People talk about red pills and, that is from the Matrix as well. The red pill, the blue pill. It is from the Matrix. And that was a concept, pulling yourself out of this fake. It is artificial, all right? And the same here. You are your experience, nothing else. And that is why your health is super important. because your experience will falter if your health is not in great shape. So that's why my philosophy has the core of the health, about core and health, and I'm just expressing it differently. And I will just continue like that, because that is the deep root of everything, and human existence and the meaning of life. That is the meaning of life, all right? Developing yourself, building your character, realizing that you are only your existence, your experience, and you only have two choices basically: either end it or develop it. You either end it or develop yourself. You either end existence or you continue and develop and create the existence you want. All right? You create the life you want. No one else will do it for you. No one else will do it for you. I will guide you, but no one else will do it for you. So this is the closest someone will come to change it. That's what you have to realize all the time. Everything else is just nonsense. You're just worrying about stuff that doesn't matter. Now, it is important, of course, to read great books, but read the source. If you're reading, don't read about Plato, read Plato, all right? Get the symposium and read the symposium, nothing else. And build your own, because that's the only way you're going to use your own brain. If you're reading articles all the time, you're never using your own brain. And there is evidence for this. Like, try this. Try reading Symposium, Plato's Symposium, and then find an article, or have an article, perhaps an article about Plato and Symposium and stuff. Read the Symposium and then go to the article and see the difference. How deeper your thoughts are compared to the article. The article is surface level. It's nothing. It is artificial. It is fake. All right? The stuff you read and the process you had in your brain, the understanding you got, and that's why also it's important not to read just a billion books. Read the greats, always the greats. Don't read everything. All right? That is how you become the great. You don't become the great by reading all the mediocre stuff. You become the great by reading the greats. You become the great by reading the greats, by watching the greats, by listening to the greats. That's how you become the great. Doesn't matter what we're talking about, philosophy, business, everything. All right? So, and diet and, exercise also, and everything. Meditation. If you have problems, message me on Facebook, contact me on Facebook or email. If you want to, comment down below. If you have any questions, specific questions, whatever it is, or your specific low self-esteem stuff, situation, I will address your exact situation, and perhaps I'll even make a video. And because I'm explaining the universal, because, there are so many scenarios, it's impossible for me to take all the scenarios. Perhaps next time I'll take a specific scenario and just walk it through. Now, but it is the same for everything, all right? It is the same. Start focusing on yourself, work on yourself, your work, task, cut everything, just that. Just research stuff you need for that stuff. That is it. That is it. Perhaps you won't even need that eventually, because you will learn by doing. You're learning by doing all the time, by taking action, by taking the step, all right? That is the most important thing, all right? That is the most important thing. So, whatever you want to do, like, dislike, I don't care. Share it in real life. That is more important. Real experience. We want real experiences. That is why we seek experiences, all right? Because that is life. There is nothing else. Life is experience. So keep on working on yourself, keep on improving yourself, keep on building and developing your character, reach your higher vision, higher desire. Once you get some results, update that higher desire. All right, now I want to be bigger. I know what I look like. Now I'm going to be this, all right? So your higher desire is better, because this new higher desire, once you get some results, this higher desire will be much better. That also improves because now it's realistic and within reality. It's not some nonsense, all right? It's not scamming you. It's not faking you. It's not artificial. It's real experience, all right? So the vision, you see, that is how the prefrontal cortex will help you, guide you, and your instincts will feel better. Your emotion, your health, your core will feel better. Your inner salamander will be happy. It will be content because it will reach some contentment. Never fully content because you always want to improve, but you're content now. And that is how you get out of the matrix. That is how you get out of the matrix. And that is it. Just follow what I'm saying and get out of all of it. And keep on focusing on yourself, keep on expressing yourself, don't stay silent, keep on, but don't get caught up in conversations either, too many, sometimes be social, but focus on yourself, on developing yourself. That is much more important. That is your health, that is everything. Focus on that, and then, in the evening you can, do some nonsense, but only for 1 hour in the evening, that's it. I'm not gonna give you more than that. And not even that, actually. You shouldn't do that, but I'm gonna give you 1 hour. Because it is Saturday, and I feel good, so I'm gonna give you 1 hour. You can do nonsense stuff before you sleep, 1 hour. Not before you sleep, you gotta meditate after. 1 hour before you meditate, all right? So, and don't eat. You have 3 hours before. Do all this stuff, some hours before you sleep. You can meditate right before you sleep, half an hour, something like that. Now, all right, so keep on working on yourself, keep on improving yourself, develop your character. And once you do this, then everything will be great. Then everything will be fine. You'll find some satisfaction and develop yourself, instincts. And be healthier. Keep on being healthier. And I will see you tomorrow.